Hey everybody, uh, I don't know who this is for, but God led me to give this message to whoever it be. That's why I put it on all of our pages just in case I miss or don't know. I should say I don't know who should get this message rather. Ooh, I'm so tongue tied. I'm trying to put it into my spirit as I was receiving it. Well, here goes, and I'm not gonna be here long. I promise you that it's not a long, drag out sermon that God gave me. It's just a message that while I was driving, coming back from the supermarket, the Lord began to minister some things into my spirits about some things and people, and more so, He used me for an example. I was beginning to say. God, I thank you for bringing me out of a lot of things that I had no idea I would have, uh, I would have end up being, but your mercy and your grace brought me through some things that I just did not understand or didn't even know. And so, as God was beginning to minister to me, He said to me, some of the things that you wanted to get involved with, I didn't want you. That's in anything and everything. It's in relationship, it's in the church business, it's in the church, uh, building up the church, bringing people inside of the ministry to help out of desperate, wanted to get the program started, afraid to let certain people go, not was afraid to bring information to other people because there are people in my organization that was a great asset once upon a time. And then when I went to prison, I just knew I needed somebody to be on the outside to help the organization stay together. I was depending on the wrong thing and the wrong people. Didn't understand it. I really didn't. But then God was dealing with me about some stuff. And so, anyway, the Lord began to tell me, He says, I know some of the choices that you wanted to make and some of the places that you wanted to go and some of the people that you wanted to be with. I saved that. I blocked that for your good. The time that the situation was occurring, that's even in my relationships. I'm talking about my intimate relationship as well as the marriages that I've had. Um, I just didn't understand it. I didn't know it. Well, not with my children's mother, but um, when me and my children's mother was divorced. Um, I got involved with someone else, and I didn't understand why it wasn't working. I didn't understand why it was going. And anyway, after that, after I got out of that, I started getting. I wanted to get in other relationships. I didn't understand why that was working. I didn't understand that was cut off. I'm saying this because I don't know whether or not it's a relationship thing. I don't know whether or not it's a friendship thing. I don't know whether it's not a church thing. I don't know it's not a business thing. I don't know what it is. All I know is this, that this is the message that God gave me to give to whoever. It's not going to be no long drag out ceremony. It's not going to be no 15 or 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 minute message. I don't believe so anyway. But it's going to be just what God told me. As he began to tell me, he said to me, he says, I blocked you from a lot of stuff because I didn't want you to get involved with a lot of stuff. I know you wanted certain things on your own. I know you wanted things to happen. I know you wanted make relationship works, and I know you were in love once about a time. And I just boom, and anybody that knows me knows that only one person that really knows me, or two people rather. That's my children and my sister, my sister, um, and they know that once I have a sensitive heart, and my children's mother, of course, I have a sensitive heart, and once I fall for somebody, I fall for them. I'm like, wow, what's going on? And so when the Lord began to tell me and show me how He blocked me from relationships, I didn't understand that. Okay, so now And I began to, as I was riding along in the car on my way back home, getting my groceries and stuff like that, I began to worship God. I says, God, imagine if I would have allowed myself to follow through in the stuff that I didn't realize she was blocking me from. Who knows where I would end up being? And the Lord began to, and I began to worship. I began to praise God. I began to glorify God. And I said, God, I thank you for blocking me. I thank you for moving some things away from me. I thank you for taking some things out of my heart. I thank you for making me see some things that I needed to see that I refused to see. I thank you for looking over the excitement and let me look at the real deal and all of that. And so and I began to worship the Lord. And here's the message that the Lord told me to give to whoever it is. I don't know who it is. That's what I said. This is not going to be a long message. It's not going to be no sermon. This is something that somebody needs to hear. You don't understand why you're not blocked. You're blocked from going into area where you want to go. Be it relationships, be it business, be it that you want your own business, be it in ministry. Some things you're really not ready to face, and then there are some things that God don't want you to face. There are some things that God is holding you back from a lot of pain and a lot of misery. Now, if you're in a relationship, it's because most of the time, and I'm not trying to bring judgment or judging you. Sometimes we don't listen. I went into things in the past because I didn't listen. Okay, I didn't listen to what God was trying to tell me. I was so blocked with excitement. I was so blocked up with love. I guess you can call it love. I don't know. I guess you can call it whatever you want to call it. I was excited with love. I was excited with excitement. I wasn't able to see what I needed to see because I just was blindsided. And all the time, God was trying to tell me to get away from it. I didn't want to hear that. Even in my ministry, I was so afraid that I was going to lose the best people that I thought in the world that can really stand by the ministry. I pretend in being something. I try to convince myself that I was something, and all the time I wasn't. I was doing nothing but fooling myself. And so I didn't understand why the disaster hit until today. God began to show me why. So this gonna cover all areas, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether it's your church ministry, whether it's your love life or your marriage or all that kind of stuff there. I don't know who this is for. I don't know who this this thing that God wants to get through to somebody. I don't know. And I'm not here to judge you. Okay, let's get this straight because all the stuff that the message that God gave me, it was for me too. Okay, I had to be and see that in order for me to give that word of testimony to somebody else, whoever may need to hear this. You need to understand something. You need to understand that God knows what He's doing. Life knows what God knows how He put life. So life knows what it's doing. Sometimes you can get so deep into life, it'll blindside you. Some things in life, that is, will blindside you from seeing the truth about you and yourself. It'll blindside you because what you want, not all the time life wants you to have. And sometimes we go into it because this is what we want. We make the decision on our own. And we can care less what life say. We can care less what God say. And the reason why I said life and God is because everybody is not in God, if that makes sense. Everybody is not in God. Everybody just in life. They deal with life, and even life has its consequences. Okay, the world called it karma. We don't call it and use that name karma. We use other other names that we are familiar with. But then you may not be familiar with the names that we are. So I'm going in. This social media is not just for church people. This message is not just for church people. It's for everybody. This is for people who deal it in life and people who deal it in church, in the spiritual world. And so life may not want you to get the things that you desire. and that you want. And sometimes you can be blindsided in the things that you want, that you can't see the truth. Okay, now wait a minute. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I'm gonna tell you just what it is. Um, you can't see the truth. You and then when messages is coming to you, be it from your friends, the ones who love you, not the ones who jealous of you, not the ones who don't want to see you get right or do right, the ones who really love you. I mean, really seriously love you, be it your family members, be it your brothers, your sister, whatever the case may be, whoever that is has a true love for you, be it them. Sometimes they try to tell you, think about what you're going into. And because you really are so excited and you really so gun ho in it, be it relationship, be it business, be it ministry, whatever the case may be, you don't really take time out to really examine the matter to see whether or not the matter is really for you. So you rush into it with excitement, which is understanding, with being in love, which is understanding. But then you later on you find out uh, it didn't work for you. Some of you got into it and it's too late. And then some of you prevent from getting into it and you didn't understand why God treats you that way. You understand why life treats you that way. But when you along later on down the line as you go on in life, you'll discover, wow, what if I would have made that decision? What if I'd have made that wrong decision? What if I'd have moved in the directions without looking, but without examining? And then I could have been worse than what I was before. Don't, what's the message? Here it is. Don't be so frustrated with yourself when certain things in life has blocked you so that you won't face a disaster in future. That's to the world. That's the people who are not in the church. That's the world people who are just living life. The people in the church, because God rained down on you. And I use the term life because God is doing that whether you accept it, believe him or not. God is blocking you from stuff in your life. So he just don't look at the church people, okay? He just don't rain down on the church folks. He rain down on the unbelievers as well as the believer. He guide and guard the unbelievers as he do the believers. He loved the unbelievers as much as he do the believers. So don't think for one time that it's just for the church people. It is not. It's for anybody that was created by God. Okay, this is for everybody. I use the term life is because most of the time unbelievers, which folks that are not in the church, people that are not in the church don't use the same terms that we use in the church world. So what I try to do is to speak it on a level where life, everybody on social media can hear it without thinking that I'm talking just to the church people and not to them. That's in everybody. Okay, so you may get frustrated and aggravated because the decisions that you were kept from getting into, it didn't work out and you didn't understand it, and then you start beating up yourself and thinking, where did I did wrong, where I went wrong at, what did I say? You didn't do anything. Sometimes you didn't do nothing. It was the plan of God to stop you before you get into something that you will regret for the rest of your life. Don't beat yourself up. Don't put yourself into this cage and thinking that there is no hope for you no more, that you'll never be happy, that you'll never be able to find peace, you'll never be able to make another decision, you'll never have a second chance to make things the way they're supposed to be. You will have that chance to do it again. Only this time you'll be able to analyze it before you rush into it. You'll be able to analyze it before you really make your final decision. Don't beat yourself up like that. Don't put yourself to that place where you feel that there's no hope for you and that you're finished with life and you want to commit suicide. You want to give up on relationships. You want to give up on businesses. You want to give up on your ministries. You want to give up on things, period, because you're thinking that everything is not going to work out. Things are not going to be in your advantage. The perfect time is coming in your direction. You just got to wait for it. You got to be patient and let live and live and let live. That makes sense to you. Live and let live. Because at the time it's for you to get what you're supposed to have, it's going to come to you. And nothing in life can be able to stop the blessings, okay? The blessings of God. Now, keep in mind again, you don't have to be in the church to receive this, because God does not just look down on church people. He looked down on you too. He rained down on the unjust as well as the just. We're no better than you. The difference is between you and us is that we accepted Jesus Christ as our personal Savior. We believe in the death, burial, and the resurrection of the Lord. We believe that when we die, we'll live again. Okay, we've been born again. You can have that same thing. However, until you reach, just because you haven't reached that stage, it doesn't mean that God is not going to look over you. It doesn't mean He's not going to bless you. It doesn't mean that He's going to cover you. It doesn't mean that He's not going to make sure that your family is blessed and that you won't get the finer things in life. Anybody works hard, they can get the finer things in life. Anybody has a drive to do better, you can do better. So it's not just for people in the church. It's for anybody whosoever will. So in my conclusion, I want to say to you, this is the message I'm going to give to you. I don't know who this is for. I don't. That's why I put this on all my pages that I can think of. All of the pages that I have, I put on all of those pages. So if it won't reach one page, it'll reach another. To let you know, don't you give up on your relationship. Don't give up on love. Don't do that. Don't give up on love just because you had a love affair or you had a love relationship and it didn't even work out for you. Your marriage didn't work out. Don't give up on that. Don't give up on it, because God, whoever God has for you, it's waiting. He or she is waiting for you. Don't give up on your ministry. If this time that the ministry that you start, that it didn't work out because you didn't have faithful people, you didn't have reliable people, God got the right people at the right time waiting for you, and they will come to you at the time that it's supposed to come. It ain't gonna be. You'll never lose the beat. The beat will never be lost. The beat will keep going on and on and on at the time it's supposed to go. So what you need to do is to live and let live and wait until that time come, for the right time to come, so that you can have the things that you need to have. Don't give up on your businesses. Don't think because you made a failure in your business that this is the end of the world, that there's no way you're going to be able to be successful in your business. If that's what you want, I want to be successful in my ministry. But if that's what you want, don't give up on it and say, well, my business is not going to prosper because I made a mistake. I want you to keep this in mind, and I really got to go. I want you to keep this in mind. Success comes to those who make mistakes. Let me say this again. Success comes to those who make mistakes. Your mistake is going to teach you how to not to make it again if you pay attention to it. Okay? So you hold your head up, look up, understand, look up, and know that it's not the ending of the world. It's not over because you fell. It's not. And even, okay, even if you made a mistake in the church, even if you made a mistake in life, it's not the end of the world. Believe it or not, you may not think so, but there are some people in the world that will forgive you. There are some people that in the world will give you a second chance. Everybody won't, but there are some that will give you a second chance. Everybody's not with a cold heart. Some people have a second chance attitude. And then, of course, in the church world, don't give up because you made a mistake, because you fell, because you did things that you have no business doing. There are some people in the church world that doesn't judge you. They will understand. Now, don't take advantage of it, but there are some people in the church world that will understand you, and they will pray with you, and they will stand by you. Don't give up. I don't know who this is for, but take heed to it. And remember, it's not over until it's over. It's not over until you leave here. And then you fought a good fight. You kept the faith. And now you're about ready to get the reward that is due to you if you successfully hold out and allow God to give you the rest. You be blessed. You hear, and you hold your head up high. You hear, because it's not over until God says it's over. You have a blessed, glorious day and the rest of